Warzone just launched, and everybody knows step one to having the best experience on Warzone is going to be having the best loadouts. That is why in this video, I'm going to be bringing you guys the top 5 loadouts that I have found today. I streamed for around 12 hours. I have had plenty of time to trial and error a bunch of different setups, and I'm going to be bringing you guys my top 5 in this video. I may or may not have some bonus ones for you guys that are really good as well. Anyway, before we get into all of that, make sure you guys drop a like on this video. If we could hit 1,000 likes, it'd be absolutely phenomenal. As the meta changes, as things change in the game in general, metas, mechanics, bug fixes, all Warzone tutorials, guides, whatever you guys are looking for, this is the channel for that. So make sure you guys hit the sub button so that way you're always in the know for all things Warzone. With all of that out of the way though, let's get into the top 5 loadouts. Starting off at number 1, arguably, I think the best weapon in the entire game, at least in the primary category, it's going to be the GPR91. Now, this weapon has an incredible TTK. It has very little recoil, as you can see here. It is just an absolute laser beam. I do recommend using either the Kepler sight, which you can see here, or going down and even putting on the 3x. You'd be surprised how little recoil there is with this weapon. It's just as simple as point and shoot. I won't even control the recoil for this 30 rounds here. As you can see, it's pretty much all vertical. So all you have to do is pull down on your right stick just ever so slightly, and you guys will be in business. Now, with that being said, I do have on the reinforced barrel, and this is going to be to help with your damage range and bullet velocity pretty much across all of my builds today. You guys are going to see the reinforced barrel play a very large role along with the vertical foregrip. Now, this is going to be something that takes away the horizontal recoil. A lot of people are going to be focusing on compensators because that's what we have been kind of trained with previous Call of Duties, is always have a compensator, but realistically the vertical foregrip helps with the hardest kind of recoil, which is going to be horizontal. Obviously, you're going to need that extended mag too. This is crucial, having as much ammo in the magazine. And then moving over, I have on the overpressured, which is going to bump up the bullet velocity to just a little bit over 1,000, which is going to help with better hit reg, faster TTKs, all that kind of stuff. You can see if I take it off, you get actually a 17% decrease. So only 876 bullet velocity. We're used to using, you know, the STG and the D tier, which have just around 1,000, if not higher. So this is going to bring it in line with those weapons. So overpressured is definitely crucial for that. Moving on to the secondary, the Jackal has been treating me the best out of all of the secondaries today. I have a lot of good secondary builds that are definitely worth mentioning. I'm going to share those with you guys here in a minute, but this is going to be the Jackal build. If you guys want to go ahead and take a screenshot, as you can see here in the range, the Jackal, it has really clean iron sights, so I don't see the need to have kind of sights on my secondary. It has very little vertical recoil and very little horizontal recoil. We could go ahead and bring down the recoil plot. I won't touch my right stick at all. You can see it's pretty much just vertical, so you just pull down on the right stick, and then it is an absolute laser beam. Getting into the build though, I have the Ranger foregrip, which is going to help with your sprinting movement speed, because most of your SMGs in this game currently are just a little bit on the slower end for movement speed, but this helps it out a lot. It also helps with that horizontal recoil control. Getting into the extended mag, it feels like when I'm shooting people in this game, it you know, it takes me like 100 bullets to get a knock. When I'm getting shot, it's like 2 bullets and I'm gone. So for me, I got to have the extended mag 2 on. I mean, we're talking a 50 round magazine. Definitely crucial to have the ergonomic grip. This is something you're going to want to use on almost all of your SMGs, because it's not only going to benefit you with the ADS speed, it's also going to help with your slide and dive to fire speeds, which are crucial. Like, let's just say we are using just the quick draw grip. You know, you can see down in the bottom, the slide to fire, I mean, it's 320 milliseconds. That's horrible. If you guys use any kind of movement at, you know, any skill level, whether you're good, bad, or, you know, the best, you're going to probably be sliding into a gunfight. And that 320 milliseconds, I'm just going to be honest, it's going to get you guys sent to the gulag. So you're going to want to have the ergonomic grip on. And then same with the balanced stock, is going to give you the best of all worlds. It's why it's the balanced stock. It helps your movement, it helps your crouch, and it helps your ADS walking, which is honestly crucial in this game. The TTK is very fast. The footsteps are very quiet. So having the ability to ADS walk and be able to take gunfights and be the one to engage first by being ADS'd already is very beneficial. Moving on to this second setup, the PP is insane. We have the Model L. This thing is an absolute machine, a workhorse. It does everything you want it to do and then some. We're talking almost no recoil. All 5 attachments are right here on the front end. We can get into it. We already almost are reaching 1,000 millisecond bullet velocity. You can see above my head. And then obviously the other, you know, in the handling, aim down sights, all of it is just a little bit slower, but it's because this thing is a laser beam, 0 recoil, 1,000 millisecond bullet velocity. It just does what you need it to do, and it just doesn't stop. Very little recoil. I can go ahead, pull up the recoil plot. I won't touch my right stick at all. Just going ahead and holding down the trigger. Pretty much, for the most part, vertical. You know, it goes a little bit right, then a little bit left, and kind of veers left. But if you're pulling down on your right stick at all, you're gonna get pretty much 0 recoil. Highly recommend this weapon. It doesn't need the overpressured, and again, it has a little bit more recoil than other weapons. That's why we're doing the compensator for vertical recoil, and then also the vertical foregrip for the horizontal recoil. PP Bison. This is one of the most insane weapons in the entire game. Cannot recommend it enough. Here are the attachments for it. You are missing some attachment slots, specifically in the underbarrel section. That is why we are using the compensator here, because the compensator on the PP Bison actually does horizontal and vertical recoil. We have the reinforced barrel for the damage range and bullet velocity, the ergonomic grip, you know, for that slide, dive, and ADS speed in general. No stock, so that way we can get as much movement as we can under this thing. You could go with the balance stock, but then you're really kind of, you know, sacrificing a lot. We're going from 5.8 to 5.4 to really not gain all that much in the ADS movement speed. So that's why I'm recommending no stock. And then obviously you're going to want to have on the overpressured. Takes it up to 877 milliseconds. No laser, so you don't have to worry about walking around ADS and getting seen. Literally, like, no recoil and just shreds. Moving on to the famous aims, or I like to call it the famous Amos. You know, I love those cookies growing up. The famous aims, the Ames 85. High fire rate, big magazine, no recoil. I mean, everything you could want in a weapon. Let's be real. We have everything on the front end. This is a front loaded weapon, if you will, where all the attachments are towards the front. It's already touching around 874 millisecond bullet velocity, a little faster ADS than the other weapons. Again, if you wanted to up your bullet velocity, you take off the muzzle and throw on. Overpressured in this scenario would take it up over 1,000. I've used this a bunch today. I don't think it needs it. The Kevlar, the compensator for the vertical, reinforced for the bullet velocity damage range, vertical foregrip for the horizontal, extended mag 2, giving us a total of 60 rounds in the weapon. I mean, this thing off the ground loot is initially what made me want to use it. I picked it up off of ground loot and I was like, I gotta set this thing up. It is freaking ridiculous. It does an incredible amount of damage. Very, very little recoil. We can get the recoil plot going really quick. Not touching my right stick at all. I mean, look at how tight the whole spread is. The whole spread might fit on the sheet. That's how little recoil there is. If you're struggling with any of the other weapons, you're struggling with recoil, this is your weapon right here. 60 rounds in the mag, no recoil almost at all. Absolutely incredible. Moving on to like the mini AK. I call it the AK-74U. I know we have an AK-74 in the game. It's an AR. This is, to me, the KSV is the 74U. So moving on, this is the secondary I would recommend pairing it up with, or just a good secondary to use in general. Again, we have the reinforced barrel, vertical foregrip, extended 2, ergonomic balance, all the same reasons as before. This weapon all around is probably one of my favorite. Very little recoil, an incredible amount of damage per magazine. This is one of the few weapons that I feel I can knock more than one set of, or one enemy without having to reload. Most times if I knock and get a full, I feel like I gotta reload. This, I can knock, get a full, and then get another knock. We'll do the recoil plot here quickly for you guys as well. Boom, it's coming down. You can already see a little bit, I mean, more recoil than the aims, but pretty much a straight vertical. So that's why we have it set up with the without the compensator, because the horizontal recoil is all taken care of right there. All you got to do is pull down on the right stick just a little bit. Moving on, we're going to switch it up to the stealthy sniper. This is an incredible weapon. One-shot headshot at pretty much every freaking range. I mean, and a crazy bullet velocity. I'm talking 1,100 millisecond bullet velocity, almost 1,200. I mean, we're getting into hit scan territory. Okay, now if you want to get more shots down range faster, obviously take that off and put on rapid fire. However, if you're an accurate sniper, the overpressured is going to be the way. You know, you're not going to get as many rounds downrange, but you got, you know, you're getting into hit scan territory. The heavy stock is going to help with flinch resistance in case you're being shot at. If it does seem a little bit slow for you guys, it is 600 millisecond ADS. If you guys are going to be staying a little further away and don't plan on getting shot at, would recommend throwing on the quick draw grip, possibly. So you got options here. The suppressor doesn't help with bullet velocity. It doesn't do anything except for keep you off the map, which is crucial, especially when you're sniping. Snipers are incredibly good. We have the reinforced barrel for the damage range and the bullet velocity. I do believe that you need the reinforced barrel on your snipers in order to achieve the one-shot headshot at any range. I could be mistaken on this. They could have changed it, but all the times I've been sniping all day, I've been using the reinforced barrel. Getting into the range, I mean, the ADS is very quick. In the range, it is going to seem as if it is not one-shot headshotting, but it will when you get into the game. You can see the aim idle sway is really not that crazy. I do not have explosive rounds on it. It's just this variant. It makes it look like it is exploding when it hits the target, but decent ADS, good aim idle stability. Absolutely love it. Paired it up with the AS Val. This is something, you know, I'm not really into the whole ARs as sniper support, but the AS Val, I mean, it earns it. Look at it right here. I'm going to get the build in a second. I'm going to quick do a recoil plot while we're already in the range. Go ahead. I mean, you can see mostly vertical, not a crazy amount of horizontal, mostly vertical. I mean, we ended up all the way up here. So mostly vertical, a crazy amount of damage per mag, 10 shots to take somebody down at full HP at that range. Getting into the build for it, it's a little bit different than how we have been building them. We do have the Kepler micro flex. I think I like a sight on this personally. The suppressed reinforced barrel, again, bullet velocity, damage range. It is suppressed by default, so you're not on the mini map. Again, stealthy sniper. Moving into the vertical foregrip, this is going to help with the horizontal recoil. Extended mag 3, this does slow down the ADS just a little bit. You can see the numbers down below. That's why extended mag 2, you're already at 255. You might as well go all the way. Extended mag 3. I have this on for the sprint to fire. The sprint to fire on this thing, you put the quick draw grip. Your sprint to fire is longer than your ADS. You never want to be upside down in that scenario. Commando grip, your freaking, you know, your sprint to fire is very close to what your ADS is. Ergonomic throws all the numbers to just be kind of mid at best, and that's why I found the assault grip. The sprint to fire seems to be the major issue with this, especially being a sniper support. You're not really going to be running, sliding, getting cracked. You know, you're going to be kind of planting your feet. You know, somebody's coming up your stairs, somebody's coming towards you. You're using this to get the full kill, stuff like that. That's what this is set up for. Moving on to the new Car 98, or what I like to call the new Car 98. Because this thing, we can look at the numbers here. We're talking a 400 millisecond ADS. It's insane. I mean, it really is insane. We got the overpressure. We're talking 1100 millisecond bullet velocity. I mean, that's out of this world. Target laser. I should have mentioned this on the last sniper build. You have to have the target laser. There is no, oh, I might take the laser. You need to have the target laser. I'll show you guys why really quickly in the range. You see how I'm not right where my dot is? I'm kind of like to the right, to the left, not exactly where it needs to be. So obviously this is not a great example, but you are sniping, so you're going to want it to be like exactly where you're aiming. So we have this dot on his head now. Okay. When you ADS, it's going right in. There's none of this idle sway. This is going to be a make or break attachment in all scenarios. There's no scenario where you're sniping and you're like, oh, if I ADS and, you know, I have good centering or whatever, it doesn't matter if I'm off a little. No, you want to have it on there so that way it is directly on where you're aiming. I mean, look at the aim idle stability as well. It's insane. Your sight barely moves, so that's why you need the target laser. Anyway, quick draw riser, ADS speed, fast mag. You lose one bullet in the mag, but you gain a bunch of ADS speed. Reinforced barrel, one shot headshot. Pretty much any range here. Okay, again, we're talking 1100 millisecond bullet velocity, 450 millisecond ADS. I mean, the reason we call it the new Car 98 is because it is just so fast, so lightning and lethal. It's incredible. I absolutely love it. Pairing it up here with the Tonto 22. We're talking very little recoil, crazy, you know, range on it. You could hit faraway targets if you need to. Obviously, that's crazy. 25 meters is probably all I'd stretch it out to, but slower shooting, higher, you know, damage, higher accuracy. You can go ahead and get the recoil plot. It's literally just pretty much vertical recoil. Pull down on the right stick and you're in business. It is phenomenal. I absolutely love this weapon. Getting into the Tonto build really quickly here for our 5th loadout. It is going to be the reinforced vertical, extended mag 2, ergonomic, and balance stock. Similar attachments to where we saw before. Moving on to some bonus loadouts. I know I said 5 loadouts. I do got some bonus because I got to show you guys these bonus loadouts. All right, getting into the Krig. This is a weapon I didn't have fully leveled up, so we are here in private match. But this, when I do have it fully leveled, is 100% what I plan on running. And that is going to be the Krig with the 70 round dual drum. This is one of the harder, if not hardest, hitting ARs currently. You could tell by the recoil being a little bit extra crazy that it is going to be one of your harder hitting weapons. We can go ahead and do the recoil plot here. I do have this thing like halfway leveled up to max just because of how good it is inside of Warzone. I mean, we're talking 70 rounds, so a lot of vertical recoil, but other than that, nothing that you can't control. It really reminds me a lot of the AMAX minus the mag size. Absolutely incredible weapon, probably my favorite on the battlefield thus far. I got the Kepler red dot. We have the reinforced barrel for the bullet velocity and damage range, vertical foregrip for the horizontal recoil. We have the extended mag 2 for the 70 round drum, and then the recoil springs, which are going to help out actually a ton. As you guys can see, the recoil springs do 10, 15, and 10% for recoil control. Absolutely crucial. The thing that I recommend pairing it up with is going to be the Compact 92. This is one of those weapons that I haven't seen many people use, and I don't know why, because it's actually incredibly good. It has an integrated suppressor. As you can see, we go with that barrel for the bullet velocity, damage range. But again, you're off the mini map by default. Cannot stress enough how important that is. Horizontal recoil is taken care of with the vertical foregrip. We got the 60 round mag. Super fast fire rate, but a 60 round mag to accompany it. And then we got the ergonomic and the balance stock. We already know what both of those do. So this thing is absolutely disgusting. As you can see, not a lot of recoil. Probably not using it up to 25 meters. But if I had to, I can. Not touching the right stick at all. You can see the recoil's mostly just vertical recoil. You could easily control it. Takes around 10 shots to get a knock. Nothing crazy. Definitely would recommend using that. Having the very last loadout, an honorable mention, and probably one of my favorite weapons to use in the game, is going to be the AK. It's been my favorite forever. We got a 4X. This setup is not for the faint of heart. You got to have a little bit of recoil control. It's kind of in between the aims and the Krig between the recoil, so it's not crazy. It's that mid-tier recoil for that good damage output though, and that large mag. I mean, we're talking almost 60 rounds, right? I'm pretty sure hit the reload. Boom. 60 rounds. Recoil, not that crazy. Look at the recoil plot, not touching my right stick. You can see the vertical recoil really not that bad. The horizontal, it's really just up and to the right. I mean, it doesn't get much more simple than that. Getting into the build though for you guys, the big bussin' AK and the MP5. Spoiler alert, the MP5 is going to be our secondary. We got the Willis 3X, the compensator, reinforced barrel, vertical foregrip, and extended mag. We're rocking around almost 1,000 millisecond bullet velocity. If you paired that up with the MP5, this thing, or the C9, whatever you want to call it, this thing, disgusting. I mean, probably one of the strongest SMGs that you probably should be using. In a lot of instances, I feel like this is better than my AR at mid-range. I mean, you see it up to 25 meters, how fast it takes that guy's place off and gets the knock. And the recoil, I mean, you saw it there. Not bad at all. Not touching the right stick. Mostly vertical, and even the vertical is not that bad. So getting into the build here, we have the reinforced vertical, extended mag 2, ergonomic, and then the balance, because this is going to give us around under 200 milliseconds ADS, 50 rounds in the mag. And then just like I said, the mid-range damage, incredible on this weapon. Little bonus on the bonus, stim shots give you the craziest speed boost in the world. For perks, I do recommend dexterity, sprinter, and tempered. Dexterity gives you a little bit of less bob and weave with your weapon, and it also takes away some fall damage. So this is going to be similar to our mountaineer. Sprinter allows us to have unlimited attack sprint, similar to the boots that they have now removed. And then tempered obviously allows you to fully plate with 2 plates. This is what I recommend. Right now, quick fix I think is bugged. When I put plates in, my health just stays one shot. I don't know what they're doing with that, but these are the perks that I recommend. Stim shots if you guys are using ARs and SMGs. If you're sniping, probably throw a smoke on there. And then Semtexes have been working out well. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys find some loadouts. Hopefully you guys got some good screenshots. If you guys did take any screenshots of the builds, please go ahead, subscribe to the channel. I'll have more of these videos coming out as the meta shifts around. I'll have more tutorials, guides, things of that nature. So if you guys found any value, please consider subscribing. Drop a like if you haven't already. And without further ado, guys, good luck on the battlefield.